In this video, we're gonna talk about TWS or TWS who had a comeback on April 21st with their latest album called Try With Us. For those of you who don't know, TWS is a 6-member boy group under Playlist Entertainment, one of the labels under HYBE that houses 17. They had a great year in 2024 when they debuted, and they had 2 comebacks in their debut year, which is incredible. And they won a lot of Rookie of the Year awards as a boy group. Now, so I have listened to their latest album, Try With Us, quite a lot, 20 times, not least because of the fact that I didn't know how I felt about this album. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about my own views. But before that, I'm gonna go over 2 bloggers' reviews. One quite positive, but one quite harsh. And then we will end with an Weverse official review. Weverse review of this album. Okay, and this is what the album looks like. The concept is great. I think Playlist Entertainment is great with like making beautiful music videos and cool albums, like physical albums for this group. And if you have ordered the album, you will get something like this. Pretty cool, right? Very cute and adorable. All right, so let's start here. Album review written by a blogger called Lee Ha-na. Okay, and then they start this blog review, with an official album introduction released by Playlist Entertainment. So let me translate that first. Try With Us puts a spotlight on TWS as they stand on the threshold of adulthood. The album captures the raw, fearless energy of youth diving into life's first challenges, packed with crisp, refreshing sounds and the members' bright, boyish voices. It builds even deeper roots in the signature, refreshing style that TWS has made their own. If there's so this is me speaking. If there's one Korean word that can capture the identity of this group to us, that will be 청량, which could be translated into English like refreshing. And especially their first 2 title tracks, 첫 만남은 계획대로 되지 않아, Plot Twist, and 내가 S면 넌 나의 N이 되죠, SN. They're like the definitions of 청량 boy group. And that's what they are known for within this K-pop industry so far, K-pop scene. All right, back to the description. Try With Us. Let's have fun and go with the flow together. The album title, Try With Us, carries a simple but heartfelt message. Let's try everything we have never done before together. Standing between boyhood and adulthood, everything still feels new and unfamiliar for these 6 members. The world doesn't always go the way you plan, but TWS chooses to embrace it, building memories and gaining experiences one step at a time as they grow into adulthood. Their colorful stories unfold across the album. They express gratitude to those who love them even when they are still figuring things out. Lucky to be loved in the song Lucky to be Loved. Take the leap whenever their heart tells them to. In a song Isn't It Cool to Follow Your Heart. Head out on spontaneous trips with friends, Random Play, and take on reckless challenges without fear of making mistakes, referring to the track Freestyle. They're thrilled to sneak out for late night movies, and finally they end the album wondering about their first brush with love. Go Back. Now, Go Back is my favorite track from this album. The shy boys who once found first meetings nerve-wracking have grown into young men who don't hesitate to chase new dreams. This album is filled with TWS story, the joy of running forward together. That part, first meetings, nerve-wracking. Shy boys who once found first meetings nerve-wracking. They're referring to the song 첫 만남은 계획대로 되지 않아. Plot twist. Title track. Isn't it cool to follow your heart? A song about taking that leap for every generation. Isn't it cool to follow your heart? It's a song about embracing the moments when your heart races, without second guessing, just running toward them. While it speaks from the perspective of being 20, the emotions behind it cut across generations. Lyrics like breathless and wild, my heart keeps pounding, is calling me to chase what I want. 거칠어진 숨이 자꾸 뛰는 심장이 하고 싶은 걸 따라가자 외치는 거야. This line reminds everyone of their own bold, shining youth, especially those moments that were all the more precious because they were reckless. The upbeat, polished, refreshing beat pulls you in instantly, staying true to the classic K-pop style, but giving it a fresh, stylish twist. The song adds another chapter to TWS' signature genre, boyhood pop. With the members' lively, vibrant vocals layered on top, the song becomes an easy, irresistible listen. The choreography ties it all together, the highlight of the performance. From the opening move where they lean on each other, shoulder to shoulder with their eyes closed, to hand motions mimicking a heartbeat, to raising their hands high and shouting, let's do what we love. Every move is clear, energetic, and easy for anyone to connect with. The ending, where all six joyfully run around the stage together, captures youth in motion, chasing after what their hearts want. The music video, too, warmly captures the brightest moments of their youth. They take on exciting firsts. First time driving, first trip with friends, first time living alone, often clumsily, but always with a smile. They never hesitate or hold back because they know these experiences, stumbles and all, will become treasured memories and stepping stones toward growth. Their unfiltered charm and endless positive energy shine through. TWS' refreshing sounds, stronger than ever, building their signature boyhood pop. TWS has redefined refreshing in K-pop, 청량, bringing it back to the forefront of the music scene with their previous albums. Their sparkling melodies dominated the charts, and TWS quickly became synonymous with a new wave of bright, feel-good music. With Try With Us, they keep the momentum going, expanding their discography of refreshingly iconic songs. Across the album, you can feel their signature vivid, stylish colors layered onto familiar K-pop sounds. The crisp kicks that pop like soda bubbles between the melodies will remind listeners of the exhilarating rush of youth. With this album, TWS continues to build their boyhood pop into something even stronger. Music that stirs up beautiful feelings in everyday life. So that's what the album introduction that the Playlist Entertainment came up with. Now, this blogger comments on this introduction briefly. Before the review, first off, I have to give a round of applause to the staff member in charge of writing TWS album introduction, probably someone from A&R. Of course, it's only possible because the planning behind the album itself is so solid, but the intro is just so clean and to the point. No awkward gaps, no confusing parts, everything ties together naturally, from the concept of the album itself to how it connects with their previous work. It really makes you think, wow, they planned this out meticulously. Seriously impressive. TWS Courage at 20. Among 5th-gen boy groups, TWS has firmly established themselves as a group for the refreshing concept. Again, 청량. And once again, they're back. This time telling a story of youth standing at the edge of adulthood. They bring that familiar mix of excitement and nervousness of a first meeting, the thrill of summer vacations, the bittersweetness of graduation, and now the courage to chase after their dreams. Just one clean sentence sums up the album's narrative. showing how even the somewhat overused combo of refreshing plus youth feels new and different thanks to their tight storytelling. Side note, it could be fun to compare this album with Boy Next Door's 19.99, I love that album from last year, which explores the emotions of boys on the verge of 20 from a completely different angle. Planning to post about that soon. That will be a very interesting comparison to make. TWS equal refreshing. The title track, Isn't It Cool to Follow Your Heart, captures the vibrant, hopeful energy of youth fully living in the moment right before turning 20. Lately, a lot of groups have been expressing youth with concepts like mischief, rebellion, and chaos. For example, Kiki, Kickflip, Boy Next Door. But TWS, true to their refreshing image, puts the focus on courage, giving it a softer, more uplifting tone. It's like an idealized version of youth straight out of a coming-of-age movie or novel. The bright, polished synth sounds and the energetic drums give the song a sense of forward motion. If anything, the rap part in the second verse slightly disrupts that momentum. It makes you wonder if it was really necessary. I quite agree with that part. The rap part that starts of the second verse of the title track, Isn't It Cool to Follow Your Heart? Some have called this title track a self-copy because it sounds very similar to Plot Twist and SN, mixing elements of their previous two title tracks. I wouldn't say that's completely off base, but at the same time, I think it was necessary for them to keep a consistent concept across 3 albums to really establish 5th gen's representative refreshing boy group in the public's mind. Interesting. If I had one small complaint, it's that the styling, heavy use of white and blue, sporty / casual outfits feels a bit too locked into one visual. Interesting. You might agree with that phrase if you have watched their music video. A perfectly storyline track list. Aside from the title track, the album features 5 songs, all neatly tied to the central theme of young boys approaching adulthood. Nothing feels out of place or forced. Lucky to Be Loved, an emotional, heartwarming opener thanking those who love and support them. Random Play, which is track number 3, a fun, energetic track that connects the emotional opener to the title's upbeat vibe, inspired by Gen Z's love of spontaneity. Freestyle. With its 808 bass and heavy beats, it flips the album's mood, showing youthful ambition and confidence. For me, it kind of reminds me of Double from their second album? Double, that one. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about my own perspectives at the end of this video. 심야 영화, Midnight Movie, or Now Playing. Light and catchy with the playful pluck sound and simple rhythm, it lifts the mood again. And Go Back, possibly hinting at the theme of their next album. It explores the first stirrings of love with a bittersweet touch. I love that track. It's my favorite from this album. The track list offers a great blueprint for how to build a 6-song mini album. Keep the refreshing vibe as the default, start emotionally and softly, hit the energy peak with the title track, mix in a beat-driven lighter song, flip the mood once to add variety, and end with a song that either stays on theme or teases the next era. That's deep. Looking forward to the next chapter of TWS Youth. With songs like First Meetings Never Go As Planned, Plot Twist, Be My N If I'm Your S, and now Isn't It Cool to Follow Your Heart, TWS has built a brand around titles that are a little emotional, a little realistic, and very creative, adding to their unique charm. I'm genuinely excited to see what kind of new stories and sides of youth that TWS will share next. So that was the review. Very positive. I'm sure this blogger, Lee Hana, thought very fondly of this album, with the concept, the sound, the music, and the music video and the track list. One thing that they didn't comment on was the choreography of the title track, which is quite hardcore. And all right, once again, I'm gonna save my comments till the end, but let me briefly say that TWS is amazing at dancing. Their choreography is incredible, and their performance is quite flawless when it comes to choreography on stage. And the same goes with this particular track. Although, spoiler alert, this song wasn't that memorable for me personally, even though I have listened to this album more than 20 times from the beginning to the end. And that sentiment, I think, is shared by this particular blogger titled I Am Timmy, who releases review on April 23rd. And this blogger in particular has been renowned for writing comprehensive and critical reviews on K-pop albums, recognized by Naver, like the blogger of the month for 2023 and the blogger of the year 2023. So let's check it out. And here we go. Right from the get-go, we can see the direction that this blogger is taking with the album review. Title, TWS. Where did the thrill of the first encounter go? 첫 만남의 짜릿함은 어디로? It's already been over a year, but the moment TWS made their debut with First Meetings Never Go As Planned still feels fresh. There have been many boy groups banking on youthful energy and refreshing visuals, but few captured the public quite like TWS did. With their bright looks, simple yet catchy lyrics, a chorus impossible to forget, and an awkward but endearing charm that made them instantly relatable. Who wasn't at least a little charmed when they sang 첫 만남은 너무 어려워 with those bright smiles? It was a debut that hit close to a shock, in a good way, and brought a breath of fresh air to a boy group scene, often criticized for lacking mass appeal. But just as a powerful first impression raises expectations, TWS has since struggled to surpass the impact of that unforgettable debut. And yes, 첫 만남은 계획대로 되지 않아. That was quite a debut track. Seriously. Last year, TWS wrapped up their trilogy of teenage stories and are now stepping into a new chapter with Try With Us, aiming to tell the story of youth in full swing. Given the theme of growth, one might have expected a notable musical shift, but surprisingly, there's little change in direction. The title track, Isn't It Cool to Follow Your Heart, follows the same blueprint as their debut. A light, refreshing track built around future bass and synth sounds with the chorus structure that feels familiar. Their second EP's title, If I'm an S, Be My N, was also very much in line with their debut, and the new song feels like a blend of both previous works. In that sense, it might be seen as a strategic choice to recover momentum after the somewhat underwhelming performance of Last Bell, which is their single album that they released at the end of last year, 2024. The tight rhythm, straightforward lyrics, and vibrant synths are undeniably strong points for TWS and key to their identity. And since they're still in the rookie phase, there's nothing wrong with repeating a formula to solidify their style. The bigger issue isn't that the chorus sounds similar. It's that outside of the chorus, there's little that leaves a lasting impression. Ooh, that hurts. The verses and pre-choruses mostly serve as bridges to the hook. The second verse, rap, abruptly breaks the flow. Okay, this blogger also comments on the rap part critically. And even the la 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 chant in the bridge, la 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 la, that part feels like a rehash of First Meetings, 첫 만남, plot twist. The climactic build is also weaker compared to their earlier work. If I'm an S, Be My N may have felt like a follow-up to First Meetings or Plot Twist because of the chorus, but the rest of the song held enough of its own charm, and the rap transitions felt smoother. This time, beyond the signature chorus, the rest of the track feels thin. Given the short running time, it ultimately leaves only the familiar chorus ringing in your head. To be really honest though, I could not really remember the chorus part, even though I have listened to it many times. Like if you were to grab me on the street, I think I said this in another video that I'm currently making. If you were to grab me on the street and make me to sing parts of this song, I could only give you probably 1, 2, 3 countdown and boom, 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 that part. So yeah, so that's a little a difference that I identified about this song compared to If I'm S, Be My N and Plot Twist, 첫 만남, their debut track. The more I listen, the more I realize just how well crafted Sparkling Blue was, which is their first album, debut album. First Meetings never go as planned. Plot Twist was obviously the centerpiece, but tracks like First Hooky and BFF carry their own boyish, refreshing energy, and their pre-debut song, Oh My My 7S, oh my, I love that track. It delivered bold rookie spirit with this hip-hop driven performance. Even from their debut, TWS had already proven they could handle various genres without depending solely on one sound. And also, I love their second album as well. The 수록곡 B-sides were great. Alright, back to the review. But starting with the momentum break of Last Bell, the flow seems to have slowed. Lucky to Be Loved, a house track built on a UK garage rhythm reminiscent of Rise's Impossible, is easy to listen to but lacks a real peak, making attention wane after the second chorus. Random Play rides on bouncy drum beats, but the vocals struggle to punch through the bright band sound of the chorus. Their only hip-hop track, Freestyle, mixes the energy of Double Take, not Double Double, sorry, and Oh My My 7S with dynamic 808 bass and bright vocals. While it carries a lively energy, it doesn't feel as cohesive or representative of TWS' signature sound as their best work. Still, the final track, Go Back, comes as a refreshing surprise. Despite heavy involvement from the First Meetings team, it feels less tied to their previous works and leans more into the colors of their senior group, 17. Okay, who wrote that track? Do we have it right here? Go Back. Oh, sorry, that's not it. Okay, I don't want to. 진전, Away, 현서, Luke, 진전, 현서, building owner. Okay, Away and 진전, they wrote the track. Called Go Back. In a way that, so the rhythmic guitar riffs, rich synth bass chorus, and the natural build toward the climax all echo early 17 in a way that complements TWS's own vocals beautifully. Retro funk sounds boost the mood, while Kyungmin's smooth rhythm and Dohoon and Youngjae's youthful tones maximize a bright, refreshing vibe. Similarly, now playing Midnight Movie, 심야 영화, blends the groove of UK garage and the bounciness of Jersey club to create a playful track unique to TWS. The plucky sound textures and smooth beat switches post-chorus are charming, and Kyungmin and Youngjae's falsettos really shine here. These two tracks alone show that TWS can experiment musically without losing their identity, which makes their decision to stick to the same formula for 3 title tracks feel more like playing it safe than anything else. Okay, I very agree with that part. Self-replication isn't necessarily a bad thing, nor does avoiding it mean they need a total concept overhaul. TWS has already shown a wide range within their signature blue emotional spectrum, and have had plenty of standout tracks besides the title songs. But when it comes to their main singles, the lack of variation, from sound to melody to arrangement, is getting hard to ignore. Especially with this new song, there's hardly anything that feels new. Okay, well, they're going really harsh. While it's important to strengthen your brand by honing a specialized sound, it feels a bit early for TWS to be setting into a comfort zone. As they expand their storytelling into broader youth narratives, I hope their music grows just as boldly, and gave 2.5 out of 5 for this album score, and recommended Now Playing and Go Back. I was gonna go kind of critical on this album, but now that I have read this review thoroughly, I kind of want to defend them because if you think about it, they're still very young in their career, right? And they had lots of comebacks, even though they basically just debuted. They had 3 comebacks so far, 3 albums. So 2 albums last year and 1 single at the end of last year, and then another album, a 3rd mini album that they just dropped. So maybe we're not being fair if we criticize them of sticking to the same formula again and again. It's just that they just had a lot of comebacks. So considering that it's only been like a year since their debut, maybe is too early to experiment with new genres as title tracks, but I don't know. We'll have to observe from now on what kind of style that they will try with the next time they have a comeback. But when it comes to this one, 마음 따라 뛰는 건 멋지지 않아? Isn't it cool to follow your heart? It's understandable how this particular blogger criticized the music, sounding too similar to the SN and plot twist. Because the reason why I kind of agree with that is because I loved Go Back much more than the title track, and maybe the style and genre of Go Back is something they can try in the future for their title track. Well, we'll have to see. Okay, so that was that. Thank you to this blogger for writing the review. I am Timmy. Now let's move on to Weverse review and see what the company, the staff, had thought of the album. And even though this is written by Weverse magazine journalist or writer Pei Jian, I'm pretty sure they had some insider knowledge about the meaning of the album and the planning process that happened behind the creation of this album. Okay, the review is titled "Play Your 20s with TWS," a review of TWS' latest album. Try with us. Now that TWS has graduated in their last festival music video and hung up their school uniforms, what does it mean to them to become adults? The trailer for TWS' 3rd mini album, Try With Us, paints a romanticized picture of, so this is from their last festival music video, sorry. The trailer for TWS' 3rd mini album, Try With Us, paints a romanticized picture of entering your 20s by asking the viewer to try adulting with us. Becoming an adult can mean stepping into the subway with nothing but your earphones in and suddenly being transported to a stage where you're the main character. It can mean cruising around on the road like in the movies, or pairing a suit with the perfect cologne. But for Kyungmin, once he's finished dancing alone on stage and takes out his earphones, he's whisked back to reality and off the stage for the cleaning crew. Shinyu's flashy breakneck driving turns out to be nothing but a video game. Which part? And Dohun carefully Picking out the perfect outfit and cologne, gives up with a sigh when he can't find a matching tie. Becoming an adult doesn't mean you can suddenly do all the things you couldn't before. Just like Ji-hoon didn't know you need to fry things like chun or Korean pancakes in oil and isn't suddenly sage enough to whip up a bowl of pasta. Stepping out of the literal uniformity of school clothes and everyone taking the same classes together means stepping into the adult world, one full of endless fill in the blanks. For TWS, approaching and turning 20 is like to another galaxy, similar to what's seen on the game handheld in the Try With Us concept film, Try version. And so the boys embark on an adventure called their 20s, like Youngjae giving skateboarding a try, or Hanjin snapping photos of everything he loves. The boys have come a long way since Sparkling Blue, their first debut album, when they were so daunted by first encounters that they even planned out how to meet new people. Now the TWL members yell out 1, 2, 3 countdown in the lead single of their latest album, Try With Us. They don't know this road. Now, the TWS members yell out 1, 2, 3 countdown in the lead single of their latest album, Try With Us. They don't know this road in random play, but just decide a time and set out an adventure. In freestyle, they live like nobody's watching and like we don't care. In the TWS way of doing things, trial and error takes them to the next map or the next level of the game. After getting a thrilling taste of their first hooky on their debut album, the boys are now in full adventure mode as they sing it loud and proud and now playing Better Than I Imagined, the first taste of this thrill. At the same time, they sing about how what was truly playing was all ours with the lights on late in my heart. The confidence in the boys' voices as saying in random play that the whole world's our playground is rooted in a truth revealed in Lucky to Be Loved. You're always by my side. Previously in Hey Hey, the song off the album Summer Beat, TWS sang, I'll tell you how glad I am to have met you. In Lucky to Be Loved, they promise, as long as you're with me, there's nothing to fear and I'll always be there for you. Ji-hoon, who wanted to dream in his first time video, sings about how all my dreams are becoming clear in Lucky to Be Loved. Try With Us is ultimately about coming to the realization that the adventures you undertake as you become an adult are what they are thanks to the people you are with. Okay. From here, the group conveys the adventure in their album through both energetic dance moves and delicate, youthful lyrics. You can see one aspect of the album in freestyle, energetic rapping, youthful spirit, and another in Lucky to Be Loved, a low-key show of gratitude to close relations and an almost tearful confession that as long as you're with me, there's nothing to fear. The duality of young adulthood is shown together in the lead single, Countdown. Beginning with the tender melody that breaks into a highly dynamic chorus. Oh, I guess Countdown is the official title, English title for this track. 마음 따라 뛰는 건 멋지지 않아. The song's choreography rapidly evolves second by second, with the boys jumping into the air and pulling off a never-ending series of high-octane dance moves. The track is full of driving drums and thrilling electric guitar, with the beats in the chorus that just won't quit. And despite all that, the group's vocals are enough to periodically bring the song around to somewhere sentimental. Most notably, they seemingly move as one, leaping up high together for the la 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 toward the end of the song. There's no piercing melody to force an emotional response, just a truly cathartic moment, the kind found only on the boundary between teen life and adulthood when you yearn to soar. The TWS members started an account, 24/7 shared, to collectively document their individual journeys toward 20 and beyond. There, Ji-hoon wrote, "The more we do this, the more I hope we can stay together a long time. In other words, Try With Us reinterprets TWS and their journey, one that's only possible because they're together. The choreography for Countdown is full of the kind of soaring moves that emphasize the bold energy of these young adults, but it's ultimately the shared glances between them that brings the song together. For TWS, this is how your 20s should be played. Uncertainty comes and goes, but they will always reach for the sky with total faith in those who stand with them. And so, TWS Boyhood plays on. And that was the album review from the Weverse magazine. So, reading this kind of feels like, reading an official description of an art piece that you come across in a museum, where when you first encounter it, you're like, what is this? But then after reading the, introduction or description, whatever, you now appreciate the art more because you can see the intentions behind the artwork. And it kind of feels like that for me too. After having read this review, I now appreciate the song and the music video more because I could now understand and comprehend the concept and the planning that went into this project. And when it comes to choreography, they go really hard, both in the music video and performance video and on stage. And there's no doubt that these guys are great performers and great artists. Even though so far, or at least on this album, they didn't write any lyrics or top line melodies. So they got a lot of potential. But still, when it comes to music, like the song, is still a bit underwhelming for me, even after having read this review. Especially because it's just my personal thing. When it comes to K-pop, I like it and I love it when an artist or a group's music sounds good even without watching their performances or their visuals or their music videos. Just by putting on my earphones and listening to their songs and albums, and if they sound good, that's when I fall in love with the group. And that's that's a major reason why I have been following HYBE labels, because their group's music is a style that I really appreciate and I really like. But for TWS, at least when it comes to this track, I feel like I will appreciate more if I watch their videos. Listening to the track alone would not suffice. Maybe it's just me. Maybe you have different opinions. So if you disagree, you're welcome to write comments under this video, so we can have thoughtful discussions with each other. But I will continue to monitor the progress that this group will make, and the direction that they will take, along with the guidance given by the Playlist Entertainment and HYBE labels. Because it'll be really interesting to see how they might evolve in the future. Okay, so that's that. I think this video ended up being longer than I imagined. So please let me know your thoughts about this album if you have listened to it, or your thoughts about this track. 마음 따라 뛰는 건 멋지지 않아. 멋지지 않아? That's in a question form, right? Countdown, or isn't it cool to follow your heart if you were to translate it literally? All right, so that's it. Peace and love. Bye-bye.